Hey, Yetta, are surprises fun?
Not always.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are thrilled to welcome you to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tactics, tips, and some truths that we all deserve. You, I, everyone. So we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we live the very best life possible. We're going to consider what happens when you don't get a home inspection. Whether you're the buyer or the seller, there are ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I want to put this premise right out there.
Oh.
I think a lot of people don't want to invest the money or spend the money, is the perception, on a building inspection because they perceive that it's a waste of money, a waste of time. And I know in COVID, there were times that our clients chose to move forward with buying a property without an inspection because there wasn't time.
Yeah, let's face it, couple decades ago, nobody did inspections.
Well, you know how many decades ago that is now?
How many?
It's going back to at least 3.5 decades before it was the norm.
Right.
And the reason I'm certain about that is I've been in the industry 35 years, and my first inspection, this is true confessions here on Life's Inside Track on real estate or regarding real estate, is that my first building inspection was done shortly after I got my license, so 1989. And I didn't know as a realtor because they were so uncommon back then. I was progressive. I'd just taken my courses. I knew I needed to do it. People weren't used to inspections.
Right.
And I sent the inspector without me.
Oh, no.
I didn't know I was supposed to be there. I found out, never done it since. I'm there so that I can be a sounding board for my client and also a protection for the home seller.
Yeah. So let's talk about the issues if you're a buyer for not getting a home inspection, right? Because some people say, well, I don't really want to spend the money. It's close to $700 now.
Between $5 and $7, yeah.
And then if you're buying a country property that happens to have a well, a septic, and a home inspection, you could spend $2,000. Sorry,
yeah, probably
I was going to say $3,000, but you could spend $2,000 on your inspections.
Easy.
Yeah, and I do have some people that go, well, nope, I don't need a septic inspection. I'm going to bank that it's okay, and if it's not, I'm okay with spending the $20,000 or $30,000 or $35,000 or $40,000, depending on style of septic system and how rural it is. Sometimes the ones further rural, we can find better, or not better, but less expensive contractors. Then when you get in towards the city of Ottawa, prices seem to be more.
Right. And I think with a septic inspection, we're not really covering septic inspections in this one. We're talking about building inspections specifically. With a septic inspection, if you have a 40-year-old septic system, really, why spend the money on an inspection? Know that you want to know what's there the next time you get it pumped or have it pumped so you understand how it's functioning. You should be budgeting for a new system. Like, it's really that simple, right? So depending on how original it is, how long it's been there, the $1,000 you might spend on a septic inspection could go toward a new septic system.
Yeah, so I guess the thing is saving money is the wrong reason to not do an inspection.
As a buyer.
Yeah, and I think we're going to come into seasons where the market's going to be super heated again. Maybe not quite as heated as COVID, but still heated to the point where people will choose to take out a home inspection because they're competing on properties. It's coming again. I just feel it in my bones.
You know it in your bones. Okay. And so sometimes there is a reason not to get one. And the reason isn't, though, not to spend the $500 plus. Because it's a higher insurance for you. I always looked at building inspections like an insurance.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it gives me some assurance or insurance as to what it is I'm buying, especially around the big ticket items.
Right.
The cracks in the foundation you may not see. I mean, we felt we protected our clients quite well, even through COVID, because of our background in building homes and you being a new home warranty builder. And we actually have a really good understanding of what we're looking at. And we would spend extra time looking at the structure, right? And even getting permission to get into the attic to see what's in there. I mean, the first house we almost bought when we were in our early 20s was a house where the infrastructure in the attic, the roof trusses, were no good. They needed to be rebuilt, basically, and we had no idea. And were saved. And no, that was before the day of building inspection, and CMHC did a physical inspection and saved our bacon.
Yeah, it was the appraisal. Yeah. So buyers, you don't want the surprise, the ugly kind.
The nasty surprise.
Nasty kind of surprises. And really, when you're doing a home inspection, it's not really a pass or fail, but you are looking for just some of the things to be aware of. Like you said, it's like it's kind of like dating. You kind of want to know what you're in for, right?
Yeah, you're looking at the big ticket items. The primary purpose of a building inspection, I think the reason sometimes buyers think they're a waste of good time is because it doesn't find everything. They've bought a house previously, they had an inspection, they moved in, and they found that a bunch of the electrical plugs didn't work or they reverse polarity. They found that there were some sloping in the floors they hadn't seen during the inspection. Some of the appliances didn't fully work that they hadn't seen during the inspection. Those are the minor things. Those things, even if you had 50 of them, aren't going to equal $1,000 probably. You know, or 2,000, but it's chump change, really. It's the little money. What the building inspection, the big purpose is, what are the big wear items that are coming to the end of their life? Are there any hidden surprises, especially foundationally or structurally, that I need to know about?
Yeah. And as a seller, sellers now are sometimes doing pre-home inspections on their own property, right? And really it's to avoid the roller coaster of you work at marketing your property, you get out for showings, and finally you get an offer and you negotiate back and forth and you feel okay with what you got. And then the buyer does an inspection and they find things and they either want a big chunk of money off, or they want you to repair things, or they want out of the transaction, right? And that roller coaster of going, I had an offer, now I don't have an offer, now I go back to market. That's a tough roller coaster for a seller. So another reason to get a pre-inspection, so a home inspection before you actually go on the market.
Yeah. And we can discuss that specifically with our clients. There are times to do it and times not to do it. What we don't want you to do is create your own horror story just because you avoided an inspection.
Right. So is it time to call the Dekker team? If it is, 613-860-4663. And we're honored to be positioning you to build wealth wisely, because it's about much more than just money.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward.